What's up guys, bob.bob.the.gamer here, coming at you with some more top deck lists. Today we're going to be going over the top deck lists for YCS Niagara for the Ultimate Time Wizard, aka Edison format. So, starting us off here, we have second place, we have Teledad Zombies. So, Teledad Zombies, this deck list is super cool. Y'all know I love zombies. So, this is probably my favorite deck list of what we got available here. So, check this out. So, this was played by Bahirathan. So, he talked about quite a few things in his video, okay, which obviously I'll have linked below, along with the deck list. So, he said that D-Prison was actually very bad. He said it was getting Lilaed all day, and he did not care for it. He said Phoenix Wing Blast, you can kind of swap that for whatever chainable discard trap you wanted. You know, you've got a lot of targets. You've got Malicious, you've got Krebins, you've got Necro, you've got Plague, you've got Mizuki. So, you have a lot of different discard targets. So, his recruiter ratios are a little weird. He's got 2 of the tomatoes and 1 pyramid turtle. So, his reasoning for that was that the pyramid turtle can run over consecrated light because, unlike something like Hero Zombies, this deck is nearly all dark. You've got Stratos, you've got Mizuki, and you've got pyramid turtle. It's pretty much the only non-dark in here. So, being able to run over consecrated light is actually important. You'll kind of notice in the sideboard is he's got some other cards that are non-darks as well. So that definitely could come up. And the Mystic Tomato can run over Fossil Dyna. Even if it's set, you know, it still gets over that 1300 defense. So that's pretty good. For extenders, he's got his Book of Life and his 2 Power Wells. He said he was testing originally with 1 Power Well, but it wasn't good enough. He wanted some extra oomph. But he said 2 was perfect. He didn't want to brick on 3. Cards also that he did not like is that he did not like My Body as a Shield in the sideboard. He said he wished it was a Mind Crush like all day. But other than that, he was pretty happy. There are a couple flex spots in the extra deck. So the Flamevale Uwu, Red Dragon Archfiend, and Magical Android. Android you're not really going to go into a whole lot because you're not really going to make a ton of 5s. I mean, it's Plague or Krebins and Spirit Reaper. I mean, that's about it. I guess you could Brain or Mind something. You know, there's always that. Or Necro. But it's just probably not really worth it. Flameville Ooh, I feel like it's kind of becoming standard, especially in Konami events where they're using the crappy Modern Time rules versus the actual Edison ones, which would use Edison Time rule. And then he mentioned Red Dragon was kind of for, like, pairing with Skill Drain. So the sideboard, you know, you've got Devil Skill Drain, we've got Beast King, and it's got to pair together. And then Karma Cut, you know, that's good for frogs. So you get like the Skill Drains and Karma Cut for frogs. You take out the Wing Blast and the, and you throw in the Barbaros and whatnot. So, cool deck list. Gotta see the love for zombies growing in the community. Super happy about it, especially since now we have Instant Fusion Zombies that's topped, we have Tele Zombies, and we have Hero Zombies that have all topped. Recently, anyway, this year. So, super, super cool. On to the next. Alright, so next up, we got third place, which is Fraizer Smith. So, Fraizer Smith said this is the literal exact same list as his list from Indianapolis when he won the YCS there. So, you know, he's still on 2 Swap Frog. He's still maining Unifrog, still on 4 Monarchs, still on 5 Heroes. He said that his hero ratio he feels is perfect. He could search out kind of anything that he wants. If he's drawn either Prodigy or Malicious Edge, he could just go get the other one, and it kind of get a draw card off of it at end phase to try and fix your hand. He said Super Poly he still feels is cracked. He's really been enjoying that. The DD Assailant, he said he never ended up using, but he likes because it's a Rhoda target to out a Christia or a Vanity's Fiend, which is obviously big issues for this deck. And then he ended up cutting a D-Prison from a previous list, but he said that he still really likes the one. He feels like it's perfect. Most people don't play 1 D-Prison, so other people are kind of expecting to get hit by the second one out of nowhere. Good for Fraizer. Very consistent list. If you're looking to play Hero Frogs, I feel like Fraser's probably one of the best people that you can follow. So, alright, next up, in top 8, we have Eric Shen. Everybody knows Sizzle, Sack Phase. So Eric Shen is on a newer blend of Vayu. So he tried the Virus Vayu deck that's been going around, and just said basically it wasn't really up to his playstyle. So he wanted to go with this version. You'll notice a couple different things. He's on Chaos Sorcerer, he's on Devil Hamster, and he's on Charge. So most lists either play 1 Hamster, 1 Charge, or 2 Hamster, side Charge, or don't play Charge at all. It kind of varies. Usually it's one or the other. He's on all 3, which puts him up to 41, which I feel like is fine. I don't think that's a big deal. Cards that he was not happy with were Starlight Road and the Masks of Restrict. He said that it's going to go back to pulling the rug versus the Mask of Restricts. Oddly enough, he's on 2 Oppression inside versus 1 in main, 1 inside. And he's elected to go with both deck devies in the main. Obviously paid off for him. But he said the Chaos Sorcerer was really good all day. And ironically enough, so Eric Shen has been one of those people that's been kind of on the anti-Solemn train. He actually has it in the sideboard because he said that it's really good against everything except for birds. So Vayu and Blackwings, he doesn't want it in, but everything else he wants Solemn in the main. So he's elected to side it for now because, you know, Blackwings, I believe, is still one of the most represented decks. So that's what he's going for. So yeah. Moving on up. Alright, so this deck list is actually really cool. I'm not really a fairy kind of guy, and if I was, I'd probably play Chaos Fairies, but I think this list is very, very cool. It plays a couple of really neat cards. Explicitly Freed. I think Freed is a very, very cool card to where, you just banish 2 light monsters so it can help fix your fairy count. And then you pop a monster that's higher attack than him. And he's 1700, so, he can even get over, like, Stratos if you had to do that. It wouldn't feel great, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, right? He's got 2 D-Alks. D-Alk, I think, is one of the coolest cards in the format. Very unique card. And he's on 8 traps, with 2 of which being Decree, but he said it never conflicted, so good on him. So he's on 3 Christia, 2 Valhalla, 1 Sopal, so I guess he's going 1 Sopal, 1 Freed. I like Freed a lot, actually. 2 DD Warrior Ladies, and he's on the 6 Recruiters, so Shining Angel, which is obviously very good. And yeah, he said Freed was MVP. Also that he was on 2 Valhalla because he was testing 3 and they all bricked, and just get Christie alive as soon as possible. And that the most cards that he drew off of Tethys in a single run was 6. Dude, if my opponent is going +6, I'm just going to go home and cry, I think. That's crazy. So for sideboard, he said he's got some spice. So he's got Proto Cyber Dragon. So he can get that out off of Shining Angel, and then he could Chimera Tech off of that, which is pretty good. And then he's on only 1 Consecrated because the Recruiters can get it. And then he's on 1 Herald of Purple Light. And then he's on 2 Breakers just to get rid of things like Light Imprisoning or Skill Drain, things like that. And 2 Chalice. Chalice is kind of been coming up a little bit and testing for people. And he said that Raikou is just really a pain in the butt for him. So Chalice, is able to hit that in the damage step. So he said that was really good for him. He said he only synchroed all day once, and it was only Bryonic. So those are kind of my thoughts. I think the Grand Mold's kind of interesting. I love the Freed. And yeah, I think it's a pretty cool list. So, those are the 4 deck lists I have for you guys. However, no one has the Christia Sworn that won the entire event. Okay, but I do have a little bit of information from that. So, from what I heard, Beast Mode supposedly might do a video on it. That's a rumor. I don't know if it's true or not. Beast Mode hasn't put out a video in a second. He's been busy. But keep an eye on his channel. Maybe we'll actually get the full deck list. But I heard he was on 44 cards in the main. He was running Solar Period in Light. He was running Wolf, he was running Plague Spreader, and he was running Pot of Avarice. I don't know the ratios, I just know that's what he was running. 44 card deck. You really got a lot of room there, so. But yeah, guys, that's going to be it for the deck list that we have available. I'm sorry I don't have the first place deck list. Nobody's got it. I tried, I dug everywhere, I was looking through comments and all kinds of stuff. Couldn't find it, man. But people aren't obligated to share their deck lists, so it is what it is. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. It supports the channel tremendously if you want to see us grow. And I'll bring you the next deck list that we see. I know we've got another YCS kind of coming up relatively soon. And check out one of these other deck list videos around here. And I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.